How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? I'm your host, Truman Bradley. At night, we see the lights of countless stars in the sky. In the daytime, the sunlight blots them out, yet they are still there. And there are as many shooting stars that fall in the daytime as there are at night. Chunks of meteorite that fall from outer space rarely reach the Earth's surface, like this one did. For they are usually reduced to a shower of sparks by friction with our atmosphere. 50 years ago, the people of the Earth were anticipating a terrible disaster from the skies. The Earth actually passed through the fiery tail of Halley's Comet. But nothing actually happened. It was no more dangerous than this. That which we do not understand sometimes causes apprehension. There have been over 2,000 flying saucer sightings, but no one was ever reported injured by one. And yet, has there been any phenomenon in our time that has stimulated so much speculation? Are saucers real, possibly a threat to our civilization? Or are they, like Halley's Comet, just one more harmless phenomenon of the skies? This is the theme of the story you are about to see. Some men climb to the top of a mountain simply because it is there. These men are mountain climbers. Others, because it puts their telescopes closer to the stars they observe. These men are astronomers. And some to feel the exhilaration of sitting on top of the world, far removed from civilization below. Sometimes it's because they're in love.
Isn't it beautiful, Sid?
Yeah, and it's all yours.
I could almost believe it right now.
It will be someday. I'm gonna buy it for you, the whole works.
On a reporter's salary?
I'm not gonna be a reporter.
Oh. A big Wall Street operator, maybe. Is that why you're getting your master's in journalism?
I mean it, Barbara. I'm not gonna start out as a $40 reporter on some weekly newspaper.
You have to start someplace.
But why not start at the top? It's easy if you go about it right. Look, take television. A good newsman who's handy with a camera could make a lot of money quick.
Dad says hard work and time are the ingredients of success.
Your dad has been watching the stars for so many years that he's forgotten what's going on here on Earth.
He has not. He's a great astronomer, and he's a very smart man.
He's a square, but he's got a lovely daughter. Barbara, look.
Seth, what is it? A big ball of fire. So bright. And moving so fast.
Too fast for a plane, and it couldn't be a weather balloon.
Oh, Steph, I'm scared.
I never thought I'd see one.
What? What was it?
A flying saucer. We saw a flying saucer, Barbara.
But it couldn't be.
Couldn't it? I didn't mean to startle you. My vehicle has failed. I was hoping you'd be kind enough to transport me back down the mountain.
Oh, sure. Hop in. Did you see it?
If you refer to the object in the sky, yes, I saw it.
What do you think it was, Mr.
Galleon.
Mr. Galleon? Do you think it was a flying saucer?
In the age scale of the universe, the Earth is but a young planet. The people are hardly past the brink of civilization. In my humble opinion, I wonder if it is for us to say what is possible and what is not possible. Yet I saw it with my own eyes, as did you.
My father says there's no such thing as a flying saucer, and he's an expert.
Is he?
Young man, for over 30 years, I've been watching and photographing the skies through powerful telescopes. Why do you suppose it is that I've never seen anything such as you describe?
Are you suggesting I'm lying?
No. No, I'm merely suggesting that you've been the victims of an optical illusion. Both of you.
Dr. Arnold, I've navigated aircraft through all kinds of atmospheric conditions. I know an illusion when I see one.
Now, just a minute. An optical illusion has a basis of scientific fact. And I find that much easier to believe than science fiction fantasies such as flying saucers.
Well, I don't. In fact, to see an optical illusion from the top of a mountain in a clear, cloudless sky when the temperatures are less than 72 degrees is more ridiculous than to see a flying saucer capable of speeds of 2,000 miles per hour and right-angle turns.
Despite the fact the human body can't stand that acceleration?
Dr. Arnold, only a few generations ago, it was believed that the human body couldn't withstand speeds of 100 miles an hour. That was believed by the top scientists of their day. And in their day, they were just as brilliant and just as smug as...
Seth, please.
Let him finish, Barbara. I suppose that means that I should discard my 30 years of scientific knowledge.
Dad, you're not helping any.
You hit it right on the nose, Dr. Arnold. Right smack on the nose. You can't afford to believe it, can you?
What do you mean by that?
I mean that you'd be contradicting everything you accept as scientific fact. That's the real reason. That's the reason you're so...
Smug. Smug, is that the word? Is that it?
Yeah, that's the word. Smug, sir.
Stop it. Stop it, both of you. You're acting like two small children. Wait for me outside, Seth. I mean it. I wish you hadn't talked to Dad the way you did.
Look, honey, just because I didn't happen to agree with
It's
him,
the way you disagree.
he got me mad.
Well, I bawled him out for that. And I told him he'd just have to get used to you because I was in love with you.
Here, you're getting me off the track. I saw a flying saucer tonight, and so did you. I'm convinced that we're being observed or even invaded by alien forms of life.
Well, have it your way, darling. When you're a newspaper man, you can write articles about it or make speeches about it on television. But please don't argue with Dad anymore, okay?
You know that's not a bad idea.
Huh?
How much money have you got?
Money?
Yeah, on your savings account.
I don't know, maybe $150.
50. I've got 125. That'll make 275. We could do it on that.
Oh, Seth, you mean it?
Of course I mean it.
Oh, darling, we could drive across the line. We wouldn't have to wait the 3 days.
We could rent everything we need.
We could find a justice of the peace.
16mm movie camera.
Sure, and take pictures.
Sound recording equipment.
Sound equipment?
Yeah, for the soundtrack.
A soundtrack?
Sure, for the interviews. We'd have to tape the interviews. Look, this is the opportunity I've been waiting for. When I break this story on film, fully documented, nobody will be able to ignore the fact that we're being invaded from outer space. Honey, it'll make me famous. I can move right into television at the top. We'll be in the money. We could get married.
This is where I came in.
What? Hey, look who's here. Mr. Gallion. Over here.
Well, my young benefactors. So we meet again.
Twice in the same evening. How about that?
Well, I make my home here in the Ardmore Hotel.
Won't you sit down, Mr. Gallion?
Delighted, thank you. I thought perhaps in the late edition there'd be a notice of the flying saucer we saw tonight.
You just called it a flying saucer. Does that mean you really think it is?
Of course he does. Anybody who saw it would, except maybe your dad.
I like your enthusiasm, young man. Your curiosity. Your refusal to admit defeat of your own convictions. I like your open mind.
Well, I'm going to open a lot of closed minds. I'm going to wake up this sleepy little planet to the fact that we're being invaded by alien life forms. I'm going to interview everybody I can who's ever seen a flying saucer. Get the whole thing together, gather facts, put it all on film, completely documented. I'm going to do something that no one else has ever done before. It'll make me famous.
Stubbornly convinced that flying saucers are actually spacecraft carrying beings from another world, possibly to invade the Earth, Seth begins gathering evidence to prove his conviction. With Barbara's help, he films and interviews an electronics expert, a man who has been receiving strange radio signals from outer space and is convinced messages are being transmitted from another world in an attempt to establish contact with the Earth. Anticipating those who might be skeptical of the integrity of the interviewees, Seth questioned a minister who had sighted an unusual object in the sky while driving on a Wyoming highway one night. Drawing a sketch of the object, indicating its size in relation to the highway, he described it as emitting a multicolored glow which illuminated the entire area. An airline's pilot, a qualified aerial observer with over 11,000 hours flying in the twilight from Salt Lake City to Los Angeles, He sighted a bright light appearing through the upper right-hand corner of his windshield. He stated that the light split into 3 lights, which made a 180-degree arc and returned to the original position in relation to his windshield. When asked what the consensus was among pilots concerning the existence of flying saucers, he stated,
Well, those who have seen them definitely believe in them, but those who haven't made any sightings still poo-poo them.
An Army sergeant, former radar section chief of White Sands, New Mexico, testing grounds for America's deadliest and most secret weapons, recounted an experience while tracking with radar a whack corporal rocket as it climbed straight up. At 85 miles after the booster jettisoned out, 2 objects suddenly appeared alongside the rocket and followed it to an altitude of 110 miles. 2 other radar scopes confirmed the presence of the objects, and a camera mounted on the rocket itself recorded on film 2 blobs of light in the same reported position. An Airways operator inspector in charge of control tower operations stated he had sighted some 500 unidentified flying objects during his 8 years at International Airport. He pointed out that the objects appear on the radar scopes as blips or bogies, small points of light indicating an object capable of reflecting the radar beam. He reported sighting as many as 25 to 30 objects simultaneously, objects moving 25 to 100 miles per hour, too fast for birds and too slow for aircraft. A retired Air Force captain told of seeing a number of lights in the sky while at Mount Palomar in California. He estimated their speed at well over 2,000 miles per hour while maneuvering with abrupt right-angle turns. For more than 4 straight hours, the captain voluntarily underwent lie detector tests, after which an internationally known polygraph expert rendered this opinion.
In my opinion, Major Mays spoke the truth when he stated that he had sighted unidentified objects at Mount Palomar last Saturday.
Several days later, the finished documentary was shown to Dr. Arnold. Seth was confident that his convictions had been justified.
Well, what do you think now, Dr. Arnold?
Oh, it's interesting. Very interesting.
Well, is that all? Just very interesting?
Not quite. Also misleading.
Misleading?
More opinion than fact.
Well, you can't disregard the opinions of trained observers, pilots, radar operators.
All right. Let's take them one by one. First, the radio signals received from another world. Hydrogen particles exploding in outer space will produce the same effect.
Well, that doesn't prove that's what it was.
Young man, I don't doubt that your friend received some impulse from somewhere out of this atmosphere. That's a fact. But hydrogen explosions are also a fact. And I prefer to apply one fact to another rather than rely on imaginative opinion.
The lights seen by the pilot and the radar operator weren't hydrogen particles exploding in space.
Of course not. They were probably ionized air pockets or clouds, masses of electronically charged atoms capable of reflecting radar signals.
And the 2 objects that appeared to follow the whack corporal rocket, nothing more than exhaust gases.
Exhaust gases?
And they appeared at 85 miles altitude where there's no appreciable air resistance to disperse them. Then they continued on at the approximate same speed and in the same direction, following the rocket.
Such objects have been seen on radar scopes and identified many times.
But there were 2 objects.
There were 2 exhaust pipes.
By the way, the sketch of the object cited by the minister resembles very closely an advanced type of aircraft, now being made in Canada.
Well, young man, are you still convinced we're being visited by space creatures?
I don't know. What about the fireball that Barbara and I saw? Can you explain that?
I can do more than that. I can reproduce it for you right here. Give me a little time to prepare. Tomorrow night, you'll have your fireball and the invaders from outer space.
We'll be here. I was so sure of myself, Mr. Gallion. But I know what I saw, and you saw it too. That's why I want you to be there tomorrow night.
I'm afraid tomorrow is a bad time for me.
But you could see Dr. Arnold's experiment, determine if it's the same thing that we saw. Mr. Gallion, when we first talked about this, I had the impression that you knew what you were saying, that maybe you were a scientist yourself.
Me, a scientist? Not exactly.
Well, could you come?
I'm sorry, Seth. I'm afraid tomorrow night's out of the question. There is something that you could do for me, however, if you would.
Sure.
Dr. Arnold must handle thousands of photographs in his work at the observatory. I would like someone like Dr. Arnold to examine this for me. I would appreciate his opinion.
I'll see that he gets it.
That's benzene at the bottom of the tank. This is acetone that I'm floating on the surface. Oh, put out the light, will you, please?
Oh, of course.
Keep your eye on the screen, and you'll see your fireball. Was that something like you saw?
It was moving, fast.
Mm-hmm. Like this?
Yeah, like that.
Turbulence in the air creates the same effect. What you really saw was a mirage caused by heat inversion. It's a layer of cold air on top of a warm one. The benzene is the cold air, and the acetone is the warm layer. Now, the point where they mingle, that's temperature inversion. A lens, so to speak, reflecting a source of light. And in your case, well, it could have been a beacon light, or maybe just an automobile light.
The same heat inversion layer can and does reflect radar signals. Dr. Arnold, while we're about it, why don't we show them how a flying saucer mothership suddenly becomes a group of little scout ships?
Very well. All right, Paul, the lights, please.
This is what I was afraid of, Seth.
Some reporter, huh? Worth every cent of $40 a week.
Please, Seth, it isn't that important.
Guess I owe you an apology, sir. Sorry.
Oh, I can appreciate your disappointment, young man. This is inevitable when you count too much on miracles instead of scientific proof.
I've learned that, even though I'm not exactly a howling success as a reporter.
That is a different matter. Now, if it hadn't been for the fact that you were sidetracked on a crusade for flying saucers, I'd say you were a success.
You really mean that?
I certainly do. Now, this was a very interesting presentation. Just accept it for what it really is. Incidentally, I think you did a magnificent job of reporting.
Well, thanks. Thanks very much. I gotta go. Dr. Arnold, I almost forgot. Mr. Gallion wanted you to examine this photograph.
What is it?
I think that's what he wants you to tell him.
Paul, bring a magnifying glass. Where did he get this picture?
Is it something important?
Important? This is an authentic photograph of our sun and all its surrounding planets. Our solar system.
But, Dad, that's silly. To get a picture of this system, you'd have to shoot it from another system or a spaceship.
This picture was taken from another solar system. Or spaceship.
Give me the Ardmore Hotel. Hello, Mr. Gallion's room, please. Yes? Well, did he leave a forwarding address? Uh-huh. Dr. Arnold. Well, Dr. Arnold's right here. Now, hold on a minute. He checked out, but he left a forwarding address that was to be given only to you.
I'll take it. Hello? Yes, this is Dr. Arnold. What is it? Well, If you can't pronounce it, spell it. C-E-N-T-A-U-R-I, number 6. You're sure that's what he said? Thank you. Did you hear that address? Do you know what Centauri number 6 is?
No.
The 6th planet from the star Alpha Centauri, our nearest neighboring solar system. 4 1/3 light years away.
Our story was fiction, of course. We hasten to tell you that for fear you'll start suspecting that your next-door neighbor is really a visitor from Mars. But we trust you've seen enough evidence, both pro and con, to convince you there's really nothing to fear under the protective shell of our atmosphere, even from flying saucers. By the way, are you sure you know where your neighbor did come from? I'll be back in just a moment. If you enjoyed our story, we'll be back with you a week from today with another exciting adventure from the world of fiction and science. Until then, this is your host, Truman Bradley, saying, see you next week.